Hello and welcome. I am Talkos, your host from Maniacal Laughter, and today we have Sandman Slim by Richard Kadrey. At first glance, one might think that this is just your run-of-the-mill urban fantasy novel, but I would describe this to other urban fantasy novels as I would describe a junkyard brawl to an Olympic boxing match. This definitely feels like it was written in the trenches. You can definitely feel the blood and sweat and tears that are pouring from the characters, and it has that very gritty feel that I think is necessary for a really good urban fantasy novel. A little background on the main protagonist. Generally, your typical protagonist is going to be in an urban fantasy novel is going to be fighting against the unknown, against the monsters and horrors, either to protect his family or those he loves or the world at large against them. Well, this is an example of a protagonist that has failed, and Kadrey himself has described his character Stark as a failure. He has been betrayed by those that he thought were his friends. The only woman he ever loved has been killed, and he has just spent the last decade in hell, where he has been tortured and sent to die repeatedly in the bloodthirsty arenas of the demons, where he has learned nothing else except how to kill and how to survive. And now he's back in the real world seeking revenge. Anyways, let's start with one scene. It hits me then how unprepared I am for being back. How everything that made sense downtown is strange here, wrong and ridiculous. All the skills I developed, how to draw an enemy in and how to kill, all the magic I'd learned or stolen, suddenly feels feeble and foolish in this bright and alien place. I'm steel-toed boots in a ballet slipper world. I finish off the first cigarette and light another. The world is a much louder and stranger place than I remembered. I need to start doing and stop running around screaming inside my own head. Brooding is for chickens, as my first grade teacher used to say. Or maybe it was Lucifer. Homily reciters all kind of run together for me. I need to concentrate on what's important, like my sure and certain plans to find and kill in as painful a way as possible the 6 traitorous snakes who stole my life, and something worse. It makes me weak inside to think about it. This woman's face. Her name is Alice. She's the only bright thing I ever loved, the only person I met worth giving a damn about. If heaven ever meant something, she'd be married. Probably now some skinny leather pants guitarist she has to support with temp jobs in those fluorescent tube high-rise dungeons along Wiltshire. Or she'd have gone straight, married a dentist, squeezed out a minivan full of crib lizards and gotten fat. That would be okay too, but none of those things are going to happen for her. Nothing nice ever happens to murdered women, except that maybe someone cares about how they got that way. As you can see, Stark is definitely battling with how he feels coming back into the real world, how unprepared and different it is, and how he has so little left to live for except revenge. But he hasn't come alone. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve that he learned in the arenas, and some things that he stole from hell to help him on his quest. One is the key of 13 doors, and the other is a black bone knife. Anyways, I find myself in a semicircular room that, surprise, contains 13 doors. Each door seems to be made from a different material. Wood, water, air, stone, metal, more abstract things too. The door of dreams moves and writhes, reshaping itself from second to second. There's a sound from the far side of the room. I go to the only unmarked door and listen. There's something moving behind the door, and it knows I'm here. Something growls and scratches to get at me. Then there's a shriek, a long, keening, furious animal sound that hits me like a knife dragged through my skull. Right then and there, I know I'm going to do whatever Azazel tells me and kill any damned hellion he tells me to. I'll be his servant as long as he leaves Alice alone and never, ever ask me to go through the unmarked door. I wake up with the taste of hell in the back of my throat. I know it's just the bad vodka, but that doesn't help. My head is full of monsters, and I'm one of them. I sit up smelling sulfur, and I want to kill something. I want a hellion to burst through the window so I can take this bone knife and cut his black heart out. There are so many questions left. Feels like I've been doing nothing but talking since I got back. I need to do something. I need to hurt something. I need to kill Azazel, but I've already killed him. I'm afraid. I'm so fucking afraid. I don't know what's worse. Hell or this stupid place where I'll never be at home. But I need to keep talking to people. I need to keep asking the right questions. And I've already missed maybe the most important question of all. Anyways, I definitely recommend Sandman Slim. It reads a little rough around the edges, but that's part of its charm. That's part of its grit. It's definitely a series that you can add to your urban fantasy collection without worrying that it's going to veer off in another direction. You're going to have lots of action, lots of blood, and lots of murder. I would describe Richard Kadrey as a modern-day Robert E. Howard if he wrote urban fantasy and was a Hell's Angel at some point in his life. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This is Talkos from Maniacal Laughter, and I'll see you soon.